Okay, so the United States has just created a sovereign wealth fund. Donald Trump has signed an executive order so that 12 months from now, we will have a sovereign wealth fund, which he claims is going to be one of the largest in the world. What the heck is a sovereign wealth fund? Well, to make a very long story very short, it's basically like a wealth management portfolio for the government. So, like a state can, at that point, be able to invest, kind of purchasing stocks and bonds, engage in the stock market in a way that you might think that people or companies can do in order to kind of create this fund, right? Now, interestingly, most of the nations in the world that have very large, very kind of powerful sovereign wealth funds are communists, dictatorships, or significant socialism. So it'll be countries like China, the UAE, and Norway. So if you look at them, the way that they run them can be very, very, very different. And that speaks to something that we should be concerned about here in the US. So, like in China, these kinds of things, there's no, add to the fact that there's no separation between their companies, right, their market, and their government. So, in other words, you can use a sovereign wealth fund to kind of control and manage what companies do and force them to do your political bidding, right? So, you can ask yourself questions like, could Donald Trump, through a sovereign wealth fund, start making more money, right? In other words, use government funds in order to make investments in companies that are either directly connected to him or indirectly connected to him. He's been talking about, for instance, using it to help save TikTok. Well, there's a Republican donor, a Republican mega donor, who has a lot of investment in ByteDance, which owns TikTok. So if by somehow using the sovereign wealth fund to save TikTok, well, all of a sudden he's making a personal donor very happy. And Trump, in saying it, said that they're going to engage and partner with some very wealthy people in engaging this sovereign wealth fund. Now, Norway, in engaging their sovereign wealth fund, has a whole lot of restrictions about the way that it can be used, how much money can be taken out of it, so on and so forth, right? It's very, very tightly controlled because the whole goal is that it's supposed to benefit the people. It's a wealth fund for the people. Is the United States going to do the same thing? It looks like it's going to be much closer to kind of the Chinese or UAE model, where what it's really about is developing political power and using that political and financial power to manipulate the market.